So let's do the instance items. So if you remember, on our serialization, we pretty much only save the strings. Okay, so another thing that we can do to ignore the profile entirely, I think we already do instance items with our inventory. Let's collapse all of this. And yeah, we do, because we have the runtime item, which is all this. So basically, we could just save the runtime items in here rather than saving just the strings. So as we can see, we have on a runtime item, we have the actual item, which means we can get the name, and we also can save the instance ID and the durability. So let's see what we can do. Yeah, so basically we could just make this, oops, yeah, okay, we already have that. We don't use it, so let's save this then. So we're going to say public runtime item savable, get savable, return the save, of course, and then we're going to be saving the base item ID, which is of course the item ID. We have, let's see, do we have the item ID? Yeah, we have it as the item name. Okay, that's perfect. Save dot instance ID, then that will be our instance ID, and save dot, for now we only have durability, so that will be save the durability equals durability. Okay, that's the easy part. Then on our UI, or well, on our savables, and okay, one thing that we need to know, however, is we don't know right hand or left hand, consumables, static loads, and all that. We don't know any of this. So now the question is, how do we use this and save? So basically what I will change, it will be to use from the IDs of the names to just use the instance IDs of per item and save that on each position and so on and so on. So going on to the inventory manager, let's see a little bit again. The instance ID is saved as a string. Okay, that we can work with. So I think we could just save the instance ID right away. Okay, let me think. So I think that's what we should do. We should just be getting from this, we should change this, instead of saving item IDs, to save the actual instance IDs. To do that, we need to go and see where we are actually using this. So when we say create items from IDs, like this, like how we're saying here, update the reference from profile. Yeah, we use the create item instance. We use the same ID and so on and so on. Okay. And we have our instance index. Okay. Okay, so I think we should save both of them actually. Let me think. Yeah, I think we should be saving both the instance ID and the left hand, right hand, and so on and so on. So yeah. Let's see, when do we change this actually? When do we assign something like that? Apply on player profile. This is inside the UI slot. Okay, so this will be one thing we need to do. Store ID. On apply, you have your store ID. Target item is, what do we save here? We save this as the item itself. Icon hook, slot, replacer, target image. Let's go one step below. Replace item store slot. Okay, so this coming from the button. Then on apply. Yeah, so we kind of don't want to use the target item for this. Well, we do, but it will be best if we were just targeting the runtime item instead of the target item, but that's going to be a little bit of a problem, or more than a problem. It will be a little bit of a headache to do. Let's go, that's not called anywhere. I'm sure we're using this from somewhere, but I'm not sure where. So open select item dialog. Okay, so this select this game object, load items, get all items off. Okay, so we do have all our items. Item select. Okay, so one thing we can try is right hand instances. So this will be identical to what we do with the right hand, which means on the right hand, whenever we save, let's see, or I guess we don't really, we could just bundle the entire name with the instance ID, but it could be a problem. Well, not a problem, we will have to do split operations on the string later. But of course, yeah, we will be using one ID there. Yeah, okay, let's try that then. Let's try bundling the IDs. So we still want to know where this is coming from. That's the savable. Create item from IDs. So we're going to assume that the ID you have over here we're going to split the ID. You know, I kind of don't like that either. I kind of don't like this either. So I think we could eliminate the player profile entirely and just work with the inventory manager, because there's really no reason why we are using another serialized file to just, well, actually there is a reason. We do have the, if we are changing things, this will work nice, but then again, nothing stopping us from getting another save file and using that. So yeah, let's ignore that and let's start with the inventory manager. Okay, so we do have left item, right item, get right item, and then we do have right hand weapons, left hand weapons. Okay, so I'm going to comment this out and see what errors we get apart from these two, of course. And let's see. Okay, so instead of player profile, we're going to be targeting the player inventory. So here's one way we should be doing this. Let's see how do we have access to our input manager. If we have this as a singleton, we should have been golden, but we don't. So in that case, well, we can do this as a singleton, yeah, but it's not going to be that. It might have problems with when it comes to multiplayer, but yeah, screw that. We'll just do this as a singleton for now, and we'll see later if we have any problems, we'll fix it. So that will be public static input manager singleton. Okay, so back to the UI slot. Instead of player profile, we will say inventory manager or input manager. And that will be controller.inventory manager. Okay, we know if we access directly the inventory manager or the controller, well, the controller is a wildcard, because if you spawn anything that is synced across the network, it could be a controller as well. So yeah, we don't want to do that. So that will be we do have the index, so I guess we could just save this. Yeah, that's still a string, so I don't like that. But we could just use the string and apply. Yeah, we'll use the string and apply on the index of this the runtime weapon. Okay, so let's take one thing. Okay, so we need something that, yeah, well, the starting close, we could just use the profile for now. I don't really care, to be honest, for the close. So I'm going to use a public runtime item get runtime item from ID. Okay, so one way to do this, we'll basically just go through all our items and look for the correct ID, which is not perfect, but I guess you're not going to have really that many items. But then again, we are doing comparison with a string, so that's not really ideal either, which means we're going to use a dictionary instead. Okay, then of course we do want to update this. We'll see, we'll fix it in a bit. So all items dictionary, that will be all items dictionary dot try get value ID out runtime item result, return the result to this. Okay, so whenever we are adding to this, we're also going to be adding on our dictionary, all items dictionary dot add ID int item. So no, we're not going to be adding the ID, we're going to be adding the item, the instance ID and the item. Okay. So why do we need this? We don't actually care for this anymore, but let's see where are we using it. or return all items. Okay, so that's all the only two places that we use it, so we don't need any of that, and we can say then dot all items. For when we return that, we should be doing, actually let's see if we can return it. Now we can't return it like that, we need to make the list. Okay, so we have exactly the same thing, but now we're using a dictionary that also saves that we access it by the IDs. Okay, so well, the starting clothes again are a bit of a bummer, so let's just bring those back, and let's bring back the consumables as well, and we only keep right hand and left hand for now. We need to, of course, make this consumables as instance, or basically not really instance, because the consumables only change amounts, and of course if you pick them up or not. So yeah, consumables are kind of a wildcard again. Starting clothes, or well, the clothes, as actually the same thing as the weapons, since they also have durability and so on. Okay, so create items from IDs. This is now for when are we getting when we are updating this. Let's see where this is coming from. This is coming from the inventory manager, where we need, and then when we do a force. Okay, so update reference from profile on our profile. Okay, where we need, we don't, oh yeah, we're saying what items we have from that. This needs to go away. Okay, so I think we are free to pass our savable now instead of our player profile. Well, we do need the profile for the clothes for now, but let's pass our profile save. Okay, we have our profile save, then let's go on our profile save on the base. Then we don't need right hand or left hand for now, and we don't need the all items. We just need a public list of runtime savables, or is it runtime item? How do we have that saved? Runtime item savable. Oh, yeah, we're missing an E over here. That's why it wasn't showing. So on our serialization, we have your runtime item savable. Item savables. Okay, then on our inventory manager again, instead of saying pick up this item, we're going to be saying profile, not profile, save dot item savables dot count. We're going to be picking up as the instances of those items. So let's go and see our pickup item. Pickup item, you only pass the ID, which then creates the instance, and then we just add it over there. Okay, so okay, so basically just need this save item. And here's the thing, we have create item instance, the ID for that item will be save.itemSaveables, or let's make this runtime item savable. That will be save.baseItemID. We pass the resource manager because that's where we keep the item. But before we do that, we can also pass the instance ID, which of course will be the instance ID. After that, then we can load the, actually since we do have an overload, instead of passing this, we could just pass the runtime item savable. Just use that. Don't think we need the resource managers, especially since we're just getting it from settings, but whatever, doesn't hurt. So then in here we will have save.baseItemID, save.instanceID, then runtime.durability equals save.durability. Okay, so now we have all our items back to our dictionary from our save file. Going back down, here's what we don't need anymore, and we say update references from profile, and that is inside the neat. Yeah, okay. And the force update from profile, okay. Update references from profile, and that should be, yeah, that creates the entire list. So let's think. We have right hand, we have left hand. So basically this now needs to be something from our save file, which it's not really that bad, because we could just say, let's put the serialization on the side. We have our runtime item, okay. We have our consumables, we have our item savables. Then we could save public string right hand instance IDs and left hand instance IDs. Okay, so the idea is we're using the IDs and we're getting them from here. Perfect. That means back to the inventory manager, we don't want to be creating the items anymore. Don't want to be doing this. So let's see. We create items, left hand weapons. Because we all have already created them, I mean. Then create items from ID. Okay, random item, and then we add it back to our item. Create item instance. Okay, all of that is working fine. Oh, one more thing that we should also save is the instance ID. So public integer instance index. Back to the inventory manager then. If we have a save file, okay, so of course this means if our save file is null, we're going to create a new one. Okay, that's kind of important. Okay. Create items from ID. Okay, so let's save that. I think for how we save the IDs, we should be mostly fine. But we now need to know how do we save this from the stored ID and all of that. So yeah, here's what we're going to do. Instead of saving the item, stored ID, yeah, okay, here's what we're going to say. We're going to do runtime item. Instead of this, we're going to be saying input manager, or yeah, input manager, singleton controller dot inventory manager get runtime item from ID. We have that ID over there. Then to update the icon hook, of course, is item dot item ID, or item dot item, the base item that is. Okay, and then down here is what we need to be changing. So inventory manager, we're going to have to change the stored IDs on the left hand or the right hand, which means yeah, okay, which means in the inventory manager we're going to say, for this we're going to be replacing them with something from in here. Yeah, so we're going to say public void update weapon or random item on list, let's say weapon, just so that we know what it is. Well, because these are the weapons, we need to know if it's on the left or right, and we need to know the instance ID. Okay, if we have the instance ID, not only that, we also need the index. So not only that, if we have the instance ID, it means we can get the new item, and if is left, then left hand weapons index equals the new item. Otherwise, right hand weapons index equals new item. Okay, so this will now go and basically replace the object that is inside that list. Let's use this, and let's see where we had that error on a UI slot. So basically that will be update runtime weapon with the new stored ID. If left or right, we have it. We have our index and our stored ID. Okay. So now this is useless. We don't need it. Okay. So now we are passing the instance ID and the index. Okay, then when we init the inventory player profile, we have our player profile and we have our save profile or profile save. As well, let's delete that. Let's go back, then check profile save. Let's return the profile save actually. Then save, then profile save, and pass that down the line. Okay, let's see what other errors we get. Okay, no errors. One thing that we need to know to do now is if the save is empty, that means it's probably a new game. So what happens in a new game? We basically create a new save file. So that will be profile save or save new profile save, and now we are free to customize this with whatever we want. For example, we could say all items, or let's see, well, for starting clothes we could do new string for let's just write samurai body. Let's say only one though. Yeah, let's do it like that. Okay, then for runtime, instance index, we'll just set this to 0. Then dot left hand, or let's say right hand instance ID, since instance index, yeah, okay, here's one small issue. I'm going to set this instance index to 0, then instance index to 1, because supposedly we have already saved, created an item, and we have saved that. So save, or well, the safe way to do this will just be to start from 1000, and then you have 1000 positions to save as a new starting item. Okay, so let's say save dot runtime item saveables, yeah, item saveables equals new runtime item saveables, and we can start with new runtime item savable. Base item ID, great sword, durability 100, instance ID, it can just be anything from 0 to 1000, but since we want to have this equipped, it also needs to be this. It also needs to be here. And let's say, yeah, okay. And of course I can duplicate this and I will have multiple items. So let's do that. Let's say Firecaster. Obviously durability is not really an issue. We need a comma over here, and let's say use that. So that is for when we start a new game. We're going to be getting a new profile. And yeah, I think we're ready to test this. So if everything is correct, which I doubt, but you know, you never know before you try it. Let's delete the saved data. So we start at new. We don't really need the enemy annoying us. So let's just hit play. Okay. So what did we do wrong? Okay, so I think we never load. Yeah, I think we never load the right hand instance index IDs. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So on the inventory manager, update runtime item on list. Oops. Yeah. On the init, where we now have a save, this is not needed anymore. We need to basically update. Yeah, so we basically just need to load the items we have onto our hands. So this will do a pickup. Update reference for profile, I think. That will do it. Yeah. Right hand, and then we load the right hand weapons and the left hand weapons. Okay, so let's pass the profile, the save profile save here, and pass it here as well. Then for each round or for each string, in save dot right hand instance IDs, and yeah, okay, that's kind of wrong. Let's make this into a for loop. Then our hand weapons I equals get random item from ID save dot right hand instances IDs I. Okay, one small issue is we don't know what the runtime, yeah, what these items are, but we could be doing add and add instead. Okay, we need to go to do this first, so we have the unarmed items first, then we're going to do the same thing for the left hand instance IDs dot length, the left hand weapons dot add okay, and then it will load the first. Oh no, we need this last. So it loads the first ID you have on your right hand instance IDs. Obviously, we could have saved which ID we're now using. We could have saved that and go with that. So let's do on the load weapon. I want to do an overload to this, that it will be passing the instance ID. Okay, then it will be loading the weapon. Is left will basically be the same. All items or items dictionary. That, oh no, that's in the controller. Okay, so ignore that then. Ignore that. Okay, let's see where this error is on the first update. So first update for profile, and yeah, well, in this case we kind of want to get it, so we will say serialization dot get save profile file and do that, because it's kind of a, I think it's kind of a special case. Let's see where we're using that. So we're using that whenever the profile is dirty. So that means, yeah, that is when we actually update every time. That this is kind of an issue. So we're going to ignore it for this part entirely. But it's something we definitely need to save, because in this to do, well, technically you should be saving, as well. But anyway, we'll think of that later. We'll see what we do there. We just want to force load the data we have from this. Since this now is basically the base save file we created in here on our input manager, since it's basically this profile, I'm not going to delete it. You can delete it, of course, but it's not really going to change much. It's the same thing. We didn't pick up any new items. Okay. Let's start seeing where this is all coming from. Okay, let's put a breakpoint. And I'm actually going to delete this, the profile data so that we can use a clear new save. And we'll see with the breakpoint what is inside our save. Hit play. Come on. Okay, so run instance IDs. We have 0. Get runtime item from ID. Oh no. Let's get inside there. Okay, so we have the first one, the second one. I think this should play. And it didn't. Okay. Oh, we didn't have anything on the left hand. Yeah, okay. This will be... You know what? We should have them be instanced properly. So let's just do this. And then I'm going to just say right hand instances 0 equals 0. Okay, we don't really need anything on the left hand or the right hand. So grid sort, Farcaster. Okay, I think the rest should work. But let's delete the save data again. Well, the profile data. And let's see. Okay, we're getting there. We just need to do a few checks. For example, with this, we're trying to add an empty ID on our dictionary. Of course, that can happen. And that is on the 92. Where's 92? Here's 92. Get runtime item from ID. Of course, if string dot is null or empty, ID, return null. Let's go back. I think we shouldn't, yeah, we'll just see. Okay, well, we're getting there, so we'll see. Oh, well, what? Okay. Let's compile. Okay, so I think we need to delete our save file, or yeah, so right hand instances was null, which shouldn't be. So let's delete this too and try again. Okay, if it's the same thing, yeah, it's the same thing. So we're getting a null on our right hand instances. So I think when we save our profile on init, I think it's coming from the input manager, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why that is. This will have at least used 4 of this. Okay, let's put a debug log in here and say created new save, and let's hit play. Okay, we're getting somewhere. This doesn't create a new save. That's the thing. Okay, but why is that? Get save profile. That's weird. Why is this returning something then? If it's not. This will return null. Let's add debug log in here as well. Say debug log. Found profile data. And let's see. Technically, this will have, yeah, we should get one of those debug logs or something. Okay, now we created a new save. And now we are on the, yeah, okay. So if item is null, return. We don't have an item to load, obviously, and I think that's about it. Let's do a load. Okay, I think it's something to do with serializing empty strings. I think that's the issue there, or something like that. Because let's go on our player profile, input manager, and let's put a breakpoint to this, or actually this. Attach that. Because when we start with a new save, it loads fine because we also have. Oh, I know what it is. We never save the, yeah, okay. So if save is null, then do serialization dot save profile to file. But of course we never use the profile. Oh, we actually have the save file, okay. Let's just pass that. Okay. That's it. So the new save file we created, we actually need to have this saved on the disk. Otherwise, they are empty files. That was the issue. I think we should not have any errors. We don't. And we do have the great sword. Okay. Let's start again. The save files exist. It needs to re-import them. Okay. Spoke too soon. I think though. Yeah, okay, I know what it is. When we actually remove game, so here's what I'm going to say. On application quit, that is what is throwing us off, because this goes and basically writes over the profile we have. Okay. and basically it just adds this as an empty thing. So I'm going to delete this. I'm going to clear. I'm going to load again. Okay, perfect. And I'm going to load again. And again, perfect. And I'm going to open this up. Of course, we have the issue where we don't load the items. We'll see to that later. And so yeah, the on application quit was the issue because we were basically corrupting the data with this. Let's see if we can bring this back. So that was that. So save profile to file. Okay, we have the save file. Get save a profile. Then this. Well, okay, that's not really bad. We just need to save the starting clothes as starting clothes. The consumables for now as consumables, but we still need to save the rest. So we're going to say public void save profile or public okay, let's do this as void profile save or save or get savable instances or something like that. Okay, we're passing the profile save, then we're adding that there, and then we need to save everything. So what we're going to save, we're going to say for all items dictionary dot, or better yet, for each runtime item in all items dictionary dot values save dot item savables dot add item dot get savable. Okay, and that will save all the items we have, all our save files. So then on our save dot right hand instance IDs new string 4, then for right hand weapons dot count save dot right hand instances I dot or I equals right hand weapons I dot instance ID. Okay, because the instance ID refers to this savable from the item dictionary. Then save dot left hand in the instances, of course, new string 4, left hand weapons dot count, then save dot left hand instances I equals left hand weapons I dot instance ID. Okay, one more thing. If this is not null, of course, because you might not have anything on that slot. Okay, and on our input manager then, I will say inventory manager or controller dot inventory manager dot get savable instances, pass the profile save, and then pass the profile save as well. Okay, so this now will save everything. Minimize that. Okay, clear. Save this. Let's hit play. Okay, perfect. Let's delete the profile data. Oops, what was this? Oh, yeah. We might have more right hand weapons. I don't know why we got this error. Let's put the attach. Since this has 4, then something ran out of index. We'll see. But then it might not be an issue if we restart. Let's see. We are good with that. Let's hit continue. Let's stop. Then we have 5 right hand weapons. Okay, so we have 5 of these, that's why. But why do we have 5? Because we add 4. Yeah, okay, we add 4 of these. And the count is, yeah, okay. I see what we're doing wrong. On add then. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So left hand weapons, right hand weapons. Get runtime. Oh, okay. We need to remove the unarmed actually. So that will be on our input manager. Get savable instance, profile save in here. We'll say get right hand weapons and get left hand weapons instead. I think we should be good with that because this should be 4, so that means, yeah, we should be good. Let's delete the profile data, however. We don't really need them now. Play. Okay, then exit. Okay. Join again. And voila, no errors. Okay, perfect. That's what we need. So we moved from saving instance files, saving just IDs, to actually saving instance IDs and so on and so on. So now if I go and pick up an item, because we don't really know what those items were, but whatever. Okay, I'm going to quit. It's going to save. Then on my savable instance, or well, not on the save. Let's do this when we load. Let's put a breakpoint. Down here. Attach this. And hit play. So on our save file, if we open this up, we're going to see on our item savables, I'm going to go on one of those. Let's see, we have instance ID 4. Yeah, okay. Instance ID 2. Instance ID 1. Okay, so you see we now have a lot more instance IDs than we have for this. However, that's the instance index. Yeah, I don't know why we should have started with them. If we pick those up, we should have started with an index of 1000 plus. Okay, so but this one has an incremental value. So maybe it was something to do with when we pick this up. Let's see. On init, instance index is okay. Plus plus, create item instance, item is not null. Item instance ID, create item instance. Okay, we have two of these. That's one inside the inventory manager. Well, both of them are in here. Create item. I think we're not using this. We don't, so let's comment this out. So it's not throwing us off. Yeah, I think it's coming from this one. So create item instance, instance index, plus plus. I don't know why this. That should have, well, let's put a breakpoint, or let's just use instance index. Okay. And let's delete the profile data again. So when we go and pick them up again, we should start from 1000 plus. Yeah, 1002, 1003, 1004. Okay, so breaking that up. Then when we go and load them back, let's add this, attach this. Let's hit play. Save file, item savables. Yeah, okay, now we have the correct IDs. Perfect, so basically, yeah, we're done. We now have saved everything that is below 1000 is a starting item, and everything that is higher than 1000 is an item that you actually picked up in game. Okay, so basically that is serialization in a nutshell. And only thing that left to do, which we're going to do on the next part, is to actually fix our inventory with this and actually, yeah, you know, make it workable again, because we can't really check the inventory right now, but that's something we can worry about for the next part. As always, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and if you like to see more stuff, more videos, more series, more of everything, of course, consider supporting me on Patreon so we can keep making all of these nice and beautiful things we are making. I'll see you next time.